siaran USM. Jadi Myra tu adalah kita punya lifeline to sing or to float. Kalau kita tak serius tentang Myra, memang kita akan kehilangan banyak ranking, grant dan sebagainya lah. Jadi betapa pentingnya lifeline tersebut kita jaga. Dan interestingly 20% saja sebenarnya lecturers actually yang buat kerja untuk 80% lagi. Jadi lebih banyak. Saya rasa semua orang tahu wahyu ni, tapi cuma nak melakukannya tu kadang masih perlu whipping kot Prof, tak tahu lah. Okay, seterusnya saya teruskan dengan Puan Engku. Soalan terakhir untuk Puan Engku. Mungkin kita sentuh sedikit tentang koleksi perpustakaan. Bagaimana perpustakaan USM dalam kekangan ekonomi. Selalu kita tengok hari dia dah cakap pasal resources kan, untuk memperkasakan kita punya koleksi untuk memanfaatkan sokongan pengajaran dan pembelajaran di USM.
Terima kasih. Pertamanya, kita sejak 2-3 tahun lepas memang kita pastikan bahawa jurnal atau database memang fully elektronik, 100%. Cuma buku saja yang belum capai target sebab ada setengah buku tu tak publish dalam bentuk elektronik. Jadi bila sumber tu ada dalam bentuk elektronik, you can access it anywhere. Tak payah datang library pun. You datang library tapi virtually. So kita pun pada mula kita rasa tak seronok lah kalau orang tak datang library kan. Tapi sekarang kenyataannya kalau kita buka library pukul 8.30, dah ramai dah orang beratur kat luar tu. Betul Prof. So we cannot say that people are not coming to the library. They do. Macam hari tu kita buka untuk tempah bilik Carol. Kita bilangan terhad. Tapi sampai berebut-rebut, beratur macam kat luar tu Datuk. Orang nak booking bilik Carol where they can do their self-study. They have their own room. Sampai ada seorang student postgraduate tu hantar email dekat Prof Farhan, and Prof Farhan pula pas kepada saya, please help this student because she was not in the country at that time, she was overseas, but then dia tak boleh nak daftar sendiri because our regulation is kena datang sendiri. But then nasib baik pada masa tu ada bilik kosong because kami dekat library macam bilik hotel Prof. Siapa yang ada dapat bilik yang ada window, kadar dia mahal sikit sebab kita pun kena generate income. Okay, but then I just want to say that still, people will still visit the library for whatever reason because I believe that the library should be, I ada baca satu buku tu, walaupun I tak baca sehabis, written, the tajuk is The Library as a Third Good Place. I think the author is nama dia Goddard. Macam the first good place will be the hostel. The second good place would be the lecture theatre because those are the two places yang dia memang selalu pergi. So the library, but I would say that the library should move to the second place because sometimes they don't go to the lecture, they can watch the lecture from anywhere else, but they can go straight to the library, and the lecturers can also do their lectures in the library. So why not? Because we have places that we can be buat secara fleksibel. You can have the class there, you can have the class at another corner or anything. I'm okay with that because when I go to luar negara, especially dekat Korea and Japan, you cannot find the books at the dekat certain places. It's very open, where they call it the learning commons. So you can make anything, macam kerusi ni pun kita boleh susun macam you nak duduk macam mana, nak lie down ke, nak berluncur ke, anything. Sekarang ni pun kalau I tengok students tidur, lie down sekejap dalam library pun asyik, tak apalah, asalkan dia duduk dengan beradab. Because this is the only place they can come in before they go to the next lecture. So at that time juga, dia boleh guna the koleksi yang kita offer dengan bantuan perpustakaan. Dan saya juga galakkan pada masa kita buat aktiviti cerai wara ke pusat-pusat pengajian, I mention about the problem-based learning because we have done this with a few schools dekat medical. where, okay, you give a topic to the students and then you tell the students, okay, if you want to find something about this particular topic, go to the library, see the librarians. So we work together, and then we will give the feedback to the lecturer. Okay, how many students come? What database do they use? So we want to memperkasakan koleksi yang ada. Kalau tidak, we don't know the students are using the databases or the resources or not. So in that manner, we can identify so which are the appropriate resources to be used for that particular subject. So on another thing, I am also on talking terms with UNIMED and also UUM because kita nak laksanakan aktiviti kesepunyaan dan keserakanan. So I was talking to them, let's say we have engineering, we have medical and we have management. So why not we work together with UM dalam aspek management and talk to UM about engineering. So we don't have to buy the same books, we don't have to buy the same database. So barulah ada ROI and then ramai orang guna, and then we can share with each other. That can be worked out. So I hope this can be realized in the near future. But then we have to study the details. But I think this can work. So that is how we would maximize the usage of our resources, reading resources or reading materials. And we would also like to make our collection visible through our repository, and we are also talking to Pusat Simposium Malaysia through Dr. Suraidah tadi untuk memastikan bahawa kita punya koleksi thesis dapat dilihat oleh orang luar, because kalau orang luar tak boleh tengok, sekarang polisi kita mengatakan bahawa orang lain cuma boleh tengok 24 pages saja of our thesis, but then if the ministry said you have to open, then we would let the people outside of Malaysia boleh tengok apa yang kita buat research, and they can collaborate, then dia dapat kenal pasti who are the experts and who are doing the same research as macam diorang, and can work together. So boleh meningkatkan visibility and at the same time boleh bina collaboration. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Puanku. Jadi kadang-kadang kita ingatkan dengan financial constraint tu, kita nampak bala je kan, malapetaka, tapi bila kita fikir secara positif, bila kita berada dalam kekangan macam tu, kita terpaksa fikir out of the box, kita mula belajar berkongsi, collaborate, kita sebenarnya mengoptimalkan resources kerajaan kan, dan masa yang sama kita form smart partnership kan. Sebenarnya inilah dalam keadaan kesusahan tu datangnya peluang. Terima kasih Puanku. Dr. Karya saya anggap sebagai suara penyelidik muda lah kan, yang memberi nafas baru lah saya harap pada nyawa universiti yang dah berumur 50 tahun ni. Apa agaknya Dr. Karya rasa yang diperlukan ataupun yang disimpan oleh penyelidik muda ni boleh sampaikan sekarang? Pengarah RCMO pun ada, TNC Arena pun ada, wakil.
Pendidikan saya baru keluar.
Masih boleh tak? Boleh sampaikan.
So I'm just going to share something that I shared with our Timbalan Perdana Menteri, Datin Sri Wan Aziza, when I had the opportunity to meet her after Timbalan. It's just a snippet of the recipe for a Nobel Prize from one of the Nobel laureates for chemistry, Michael Evans. So there are 4, 5, 6 things in this list, but the top 2 are ample research support and no visible bureaucracy. The other 4 are small working groups, collaboration with peers, intense peer pressure, and no hierarchy. So that was what he said was the recipe for them winning the Nobel Prize. And to me, the 2 top ones, the ample research support and no visible bureaucracy, are the ones that, as a young researcher, yang paling saya boleh nampak lah. And the others are obviously very important as well. It's good to have a good team, and peer pressure is a good thing. We want to remain competitive. And as Prof Lee and Prof Rahman said, I think it is our nature as researchers to want to do research and to share our findings. That is why we came to do this job in the first place. And when I talk to my friends, some of the things yang we are a bit concerned about is the top two things too. Because since I came in late 2015, I think most of us here know things have changed quite dramatically within the last few years. A lot of it is resources, and that's not anybody's power to change. That it's here and we need to adapt. We recognize that. But at the same time, yang kami struggle is some of the constructive alignment, istilah kata dalam pengajaran, the alignment of our ambitions with what we are doing to achieve those ambitions. So some of the things like how easy is it for us to do purchasing? So I'm so happy yesterday Dr. Royati was at Bio and she gave us some good news that we have an online system in the pipeline to purchase that will make so many lives easy, that will move so much research to go ahead, and I hope that materializes. But there are also things like I agree Prof. KPI 2 paper setahun tu memanglah tak tinggi for some people. From my experience, in the very few years that I've done research, I have 2 papers that have about 1,000 over citations. I feel like I did a lot of work to do it, to achieve those papers. Tetapi most of it was because it was in the field that was going to get a lot of citations. It was in epidemiology. It was a citation classic. But as I moved to TP, the field itself, satu memang quite difficult to publish. Unfortunately, I found out after I entered that field. But also, it tends to be much more specific work that only people deep in the field might cite. So there's already some imbalance, but that is the nature of research. But obviously we understand that the metric is such that we only see the average and we only see the overview, and that is what is going to categorize us, and so that is still the thing that we aim for. But as a young researcher, I hope that these things, there are some strategies or thinking about strategizing to help us in overcoming some of the lack of resources that we have, and so that to facilitate the research itself as well. Contohnya our ecosystem lah. When I was doing my PhD overseas, memang some things yang kita communal. Benda tu kita tak payah beli sendiri. Kita beli as a team and it's more cost effective. So tak payah tunggu each individual researcher ada grant baru boleh start research. You can already start by leaning on some friends. We do that now anyway, but it'd be nice if it was more systematic as well, so that some people yang mungkin tak pandai nak network ni tak ketinggalan, and those are the people yang akan bring down the average, because if they are new, they don't have the grant, they don't know the know-how of suddenly becoming a lab head. So it's a big shift, and for us it is a sink or swim situation. We want to swim, we don't want to sink. We want to bring up USM punya name. But I think it takes a bit of time, and for us being new, we do need a bit more support. Itu je lah harapannya.
Terima kasih Dr. Keat mewakili harapan penyelidik muda. So saya rasa penyelidik yang dah lama ni faham apa yang penyelidik muda sedang lalui. Okay, tapi saya rasa kita di peringkat management di peringkat PTJ School ataupun di USM perlu libatkan a bit inklusif lah dalam kita punya plan strategi. Misalnya dengarkan banyak feedback yang kadang-kadang sebagai universiti yang dah 50 tahun ni ada SOP ataupun cara kerja kita yang kita ingat ini je cara dia, kan? This is the best way, proven, ini cara. Tapi sebenarnya mungkin tidak, kan? Dalam era yang baru ni mungkin ada banyak cara-cara inovatif untuk buat sesuatu, work process. Tapi mungkin orang yang lebih senior tak berapa nampak dah, sebab dia orang pun dah press bio pen, dia orang pun nak senja. Jadi mungkin kita perlu pelibatan orang-orang muda, diverse lah, we be more inclusive kita dengar pendapat ataupun cara bagaimana untuk membuat satu kerja yang kita boleh facilitate yang researchers ni yang perlukan sokongan. Jadi saya rasa itulah mungkin banyak idea-idea yang tidak melanggar peraturan, tetapi somehow kita boleh lakukan lah sharing of. Saya tahu kalau pensyarah baru nak tunggu grant je, baru nak start buat kerja kan. Padahal kalau mereka collaborate dengan penyelidik lain yang ada grant, small grant, boleh buat satu objektif, dua objektif kan, sekurang-kurangnya can start off kan. Macam itulah saya rasa banyak korang kan penyelidik tu ni nak kena bimbing juga. Okeylah, saya rasa sampai situ saja. Saya minta sedikit gulungan, summary sedikit, mungkin brief summary daripada setiap panel untuk kita konklusikan forum ni. Selepas mereka conclude, kita akan buka 10 minit question and answer. Ada boleh nak konklusikan, rumuskan? Untuk start rumusan.
Terima kasih Dr. Bakiah. Saya rasa macam ni. Kita ada dekat library kita ada USM repository. So kita dah cakap pasal publication tadi. So kita sepatutnya ada macam, saya tak tahu sama ada dasar atau polisi yang mengatakan bahawa setiap bahan yang dipublish, sama ada di dalam jurnal ke atau apa saja dokumen, sepatutnya kita kena simpan. Sebab sekarang ni macam kita nak sambut 50 tahun USM tahun lepas, semua orang datang kat library, call library, cari staff library nak tanya, okay, do you have this? Tapi masa kita minta, bukan saya nak bersebut, tapi masa kalau kita minta, kita hantar surat dengan yang baik, cakap dengan elok, can we submit the publication to the library so that in future, the future researchers have the opportunity to baca and to buat penyelidikan lain menggunakan those resources. But at the moment, sekarang ni kita punya repository tak berapa kuat peranan. Because bila kita minta, macam kalau dia orang pergi present paper dekat luar negara, salah satu wajib dia buat ialah hantar dia dokumen dekat library. Tapi bila kita hantar surat, macam senyap. So kita pun tak boleh nak buat apa-apa, nak denda ke, nak potong gaji ke, tak boleh lah kan. Tapi kita kena memperkukuhkan repository USM, because from that baru koleksi kita akan grow, kita akan jadi pusat rujukan. Kalau tak seluruh negara pun mungkin di bahagian utara, tapi kalau seluruh negara lagi lah baik kan. So when we have our own, we will be very strong. So that will help to publish more papers. You can do more quality research, and it will bring to some other positive things. So itu saja daripada saya.
Sebenarnya saya nak cakap, masa saya belajar dulu, library was my number one place actually, my favorite place. And at that time tak buat research lagi, so it was more about reading the novels and yeah. But and as I enter research, I also realized how critical the role of library is in facilitating research. For example, when we do meta-analysis or systematic review, kadang-kadang kita tahu question kita nak tanya, tapi kita tak tahu macam mana nak attack the data or the articles before us. And that is where the role of library, the information ni semua memang sangat membantulah menggerakkan usaha-usaha begitu. And those type of papers become the citation classics, really, the meta-analysis and the systematic review. So definitely library plays such a critical role in giving us an insight into what we have, the wealth of knowledge that we have to. But sebenarnya, just by summary, for being here, satu because I won the competition, and dua because I probably represent the generation yang is it Y or I'm not sure, can't remember. Gen Y, yeah. We want to keep doing the good work that has been done before us. and we want to stand on the shoulders of giants. But as I said just now, it would be so helpful for the support and the alignment of the ambitions that we have, so that we can get there.
Okay, sharing class probably.
Yeah, sharing class. I think this will bring relevant to library. To tell you the truth, 1 year ago, I was one of them to say that library is no longer relevant. I'm very, very frank to you all, because I find that, as you say, everything now you can learn through online. Right? I'm not saying only library, I'm saying that lecturers are also not relevant, not in the library. But I realized that, what Pengarah said, I can see that. Then when I start to learn more about it, I realized that actually library is also evolving. Actually, like Pengarah said, that, you know how they bring in now research into library. I think that's very, maybe I'm starting to change. I've started to change my opinion on library. And I think now library, as what Pengarah said, is already a place where you gather people come together. It's a lively place. Not only undergraduate study, now I can see that it's also postgraduate research. Library is supposed to point of focus where you get new ideas, interesting ideas to bring people together, and I think we should not limit to ourselves. We can bring in the industry. I think we see that they told me about Ideathon. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Ideathon. It's something like Ideation Lab. It becomes Ideathon. Chitro is unclear to me. Ideathon, a space where it's a creative space, where people are so relaxed the way how they sit, so because they can start their creative thinking, and you get all these people together, and you never know, craziest idea will come at the craziest time, right? When things are not planned, that's where the greatest idea of the minds come. And I think library, as what Pengarah said, I think has a lot of role to play in terms of research. Thank you.
Okay, probably jadi new believer hari ini. Okay, saya buka soalan kepada audience. Kalau ada soalan yang nak ditujukan kepada panel kita, silakan. Ada soalan? Prof Rosni.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the very lively discussion. This is more of just some comments here. On the point of ecosystem yang dibangkitkan oleh Dr. Kai, ecosystem of facilitating research for researchers. Normally we look at it from the perspective of just researchers, lecturers, but I think we must also remember to include our supporting staff, because we have a lot of supporting staff. In fact, ratio support staff to academic staff is very high. So how do we mobilize our supporting staff so that they can facilitate us in performing our research? For example, if we need to do a purchase, we can get the help of the support staff, and if there's anything that they don't understand, they can consult, Bendahari or RCMO. So we have to start to empower them to do these things. Sometimes some researchers, they do all those things themselves. So when they do it themselves, they are spending more time on those kind of events. I mean, for the first time, maybe it's good to understand the process, but all the time you keep spending doing purchasing and all that. I think there are more important things and challenging things that you can be doing. So to me, ecosystem must include and encompass more people, more staff, including the admin staff. So we should start thinking, how do we empower them at all PTGs, rather than put them aside and nampak only the researchers saja yang kena publish and all, but they have an important role. Without them, we cannot also do publications, right? Okay, so that's one. Puan Engku yang repository tadi tu, that's very interesting. Memang when we get such memos, oh no, we have to send our publications to yet another entity, and then after that we get another letter from RCMO minta publication, or from BPI, so they're getting requests for publications from many different sources, such that the researchers pun rasa penat actually to reformat their things and nak bagi publications here and there. Perhaps we need also to devise a mechanism where we get the information once from the researchers and it gets disseminated to the right PTJs. For example, this the publication should go to library, should go a copy to mana-mana lah kan. So that is really defined. So I thought HCMS was supposed to be that central repository. So we should revisit and relook again. How can HCMS berfungsi sebagai the one-stop center where we upload once and for all for our LPP, for our kenaikan pangkat, and also for these purposes lah. So just my thought. Bila terdengar mereka kata tu, I feel guilty jugalah. Thank you.
Terima kasih Prof. Rosni. Ada panelis nak respon ke? Lebih kepada komen daripada dekan Computer Science.
Saya cuba nak respon pada yang repository tadi. Saya pun lupa nak cakap pasal HCMS because we are also talking with pendaftar where we want because dia juga berkaitan dengan jawatan kuasa KPI dekat Pusat Pengajian. Pada prinsipnya pendaftar sudah setuju di mana kalau sesiapa yang ada publish paper dia akan masukkan dalam HCMS, tapi library has the authority to do the macam mengesahkan data yang masuk tu betul atau tidak. Si nama dia tak nak bin duduk di depan ataupun nama Universiti Sains Malaysia pun akan keluar macam-macam lah. Universiti Sains in English Malaysia ataupun macam-macam nama keluar because my team tengah buat checking pun bila kumpulan Maira nak tarik data tu dia tak akan lengkap because you have macam-macam nama, macam-macam ID, so dia tak akan membantu lah. So memang kita sedang bercakap dengan pendaftar, cumanya kita tak dapat mandat lagi untuk melaksanakan. Memang kalau saya pun dapat respon berkata takkan nak hantar kat library, nak hantar dekat SML, dekat pendaftar, so semua tempat nak kena hantar. So one stop center pun dah okey, cuma kita ada authority untuk pull the certain data at some authorization punya level lah. So that's a good point. Thank you.
Okay, kalau silakan Dr. Ryan.
Maybe can I think Prof. Rosni brought up a very, very important component, support staff. They are very, very important. How's their role in supporting research ecosystem? Now, I say, my real experience, saya kata, sometimes I think it's because we have too many support staff and it creates a lot of bureaucracy. Why I'm going to share my experience. Contohlah, dia mohon satu HPG. Dia akan melalui dulu cut level. Memang tak boleh diluluskan. Tapi, benda yang dia mohon tu memang dah tak boleh diluluskan. Tapi dia kena pergi officer kata tidak diluluskan, dia malah sampai pengarah, tidak boleh diluluskan. So I say, why do we have to go through all this strict process, then only you dapat keputusan tidak boleh diluluskan? So it's about empowerment. You heard that in many places overseas, dia ada satu atau dua admin staff supporting the entire thing. Ni kita ada berlambak, and I think it's because of chicken or egg, because we have berlambak, then we have the layer. So I always tell whenever I see my officer, Rahman taught this me, which I think is very relevant. I ask, what's your role here? Are you a postman or are you a decision maker? Do you know the difference between a postman and a decision maker? Are you just passing what here to the other level? If you are a postman, you are no relevant. Remove that. Right? It's just postman. Or I think benda-benda yang memang dah very, very jelas tidak akan diluluskan. I even challenge my officer. Benarkankah that club terus tidak diluluskan? Because it's already clearly defined that memang tidak boleh diluluskan. Why do we have to wait until the 3 levels to be dapat diluluskan? And setengah, saya pula kena dengan tunggu sampai PNC. You can see the level, memang semua tiap. So that's why I agree, Prof. Rosni. We need to empower these kind of things that to shorten the process, to create a much more, and I think as I said, it has involved everyone. Even how good am I researching, my support staff is not important, it doesn't run. Everything will collapse. So that is again thank you for Rosni. I think that's something that we and everyone has to see that from library. Benar, RCMO sendiri pun kena lihat. We are looking back into all our SOP things like that. Thank you.
Dr. Hayati.
To face everyone. First, tanya kepada
pihak library. Because tajuk dia bersama memperkasakan pendidikan, so I think the person need to say something lah. Because we are here together. Kita akan bantu and facilitate and help. I just want to give a bit of my response because of if you no doubt kita tak suka ROI. We don't like to heard about if you invest this, what will be the impact of our investment. But looking at number 5 as a person, I don't like it. Ya, kalau tadi kita tengok Prof Raida tuliskan, kita kedudukan nombor 5. After all the investment, I'm talking about research here. After all the investment, I think there's a lot of things that we need to do. As a management, I think we have invested a lot in research. Ya. No doubt, walaupun kita tak ada financial situation pun, I think when we get apex in 2008, we have never reduced the budget for subscription databases. When we get RU in 2012, we have increased the amount of investment up to the extent kita invest sampai 14 juta just for databases. So I think with the 14 million investment, of course university wants to see a lot of publication, but then in 2018, we saw that other universities start reducing the amount. UKM now is at number 2. They are only spending 3 million. But we are still spending about 8.6 million. Despite of we are asking for researchers to publish. So I think that this is something that we need to share, that the university has never stopped supporting and giving investment for research. Books, kita bagi juga. So despite of that, as a person, I never stop. Cari macam mana pun cari duit. Kita bagi juga for databases. So far this year kita tengok yang paling tinggi UPM. They spend about 9.6 million. We are number 2. After 14 million, I cut. Kita bagi 8.6. Itu pun kita nombor 2 tinggi antara RU. Whereas UKM is only about 3.5. But why they there? So this is something, whether it is relevant or not, ada correlation or not, is something the lecturers can see from the numbers. In terms of facilities, of course, being second oldest university, banyak kita punya mesin-mesin dah start rosak dan sebagainya. But do we also see how do we use the machine? Adakah kita use it cara betul supaya maintenance kita boleh kurang? How? Do we need to have everything, the first machine in the world? The best, something that can produce good results. It's something I'm just throwing an idea. But what I'm trying to say here is, from the management point of view, despite of all kita punya kekangan, kita, as far as research is still number 1. Kita akan support, kita akan bagi juga duit, macam mana pun kita cari. So cuma kita harap the impact lah. But I second apa Dr. K dan Prof Rosni kata, in terms of purchasing, how can we facilitate? Tetapi I just want to come back to one point. We have to remember we are public university. Unfortunately, we have governance. Despite kita nak pergi cepat, because if you get RJS, if you get the funding from the government, you have to follow their rule. That is the problem. I understand this is something frustrating to the researchers, tapi that's beyond the person. Sebab the government impose that this is how the rule should be in procurement. So what I'm raising here for probably Prof Rahman, maybe you can take it up at the higher level in the ministry to raise about all this that have so that okay, kita dapat RU, kita dapat otonomi. Okay, just to share with you what is otonomi yang diberi. Hanya membenarkan kita direct nego, itu saja for research equipment. So if our marks drop from 80 to 75%, kalau dia tarik that facility langsung tak dapat as far as research. So that's how important the research is for the university. And I'm just throwing that we will try to facilitate. Bureaucracy definitely kita kena tengok. And I agree with Dr. Bakiah, we need to engage more with the young researchers to to understand more the needs, we need to change the way our existing SOP pun, from the finance point of view. So I think what I'm trying to say here is the management support research. We want you to publish. We will try to provide funding as much as we can.
Saya rasa kita sampailah ke penghujung Research Cafe untuk Simposium Perpustakaan tahun ini. Saya kopi ya, kenapa? Okay, saya ucapkan berbanyak terima kasih kepada semua ahli panel, Profesor Lee, Dr. Karya dan juga Puan Tengku, dan juga semua hadirin dan hadirat sekalian yang telah memberi kerjasama dan kekal di sini sehingga pukul 1 ni lapar dah tu. Okay, terima kasih, semoga kita berjumpa lagi di masa akan datang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selesai sudah sesi research cafe kita pada hari ini. Terima kasih diucapkan kepada moderator.
Ya. Sebab saya agak excited dengan benda ni. Jadi I want to say one thing here. If you have problem, siapa saja yang ada masalah nak menjalankan pendidikan, you can come and see me personally. Kita tak nak ada alasan anymore. Just tell me what you want to do and we will assist you. Regardless who you are. Come and see me. Okay? Itu sahaja pesanan kepada pengajian.
Terima kasih Prof. Rahman di atas input yang diberikan. Ikut satu janji ya. Baiklah, selesai sudah sesi research cafe kita pada hari ini. Semoga semua ilmu yang dikongsikan sebentar tadi dapat dijadikan panduan untuk meningkatkan lagi penyelidikan dan mutu penyelidikan Universiti Sains Malaysia. Baiklah. Sebagai tanda penghargaan dan terima kasih kepada semua yang terlibat dalam menjayakan research cafe ini, sekali lagi majlis ini